long until we get that changed, but this is going to be between the Kintan Striders and the Night Witches Siren team. So we're kicking off what looks like it's going to be a pretty exciting weekend of squadrons with a lot of games on the horizon, and also a 3v3 tournament on Saturday. So yeah, stay tuned for all that. We're waiting for the teams to get ready and finishing some setup here. But in the meantime, let's talk about this match, Ultador. Ultador is my co-caster of Laser Rangers.
Hello. Yep. Sorry, I'm just getting the match chat pulled up here so we don't miss the thing going on. But yeah, this is going to be a heck of a match. Two teams well renowned for explosive and entertaining matches going head to head. Oh, we're in for a treat tonight, folks.
Yeah, let's talk about what these teams have done so far this season. I believe it is the second game for both teams. Did you happen to watch Kintan's first game?
No, I did not. I'm pretty sure it happened while I was at work, and I haven't gotten to go back and watch the VOD yet.
I'm trying to remember the result of that. It might have been a split. I'll have to go back and look at the results. Off the top of my head, I don't remember who they played. So let's figure that out so we can kind of see what they've done so far. I'll dig through the screenshots channel and see what I find.
Alright, looks like we're starting to get faction picks rolling in here.
Okay.
Now, important to note here that Kintan Striders is the home team, so they're going to have first choice on faction here. With the new format, I'm sure everybody watching knows, except maybe my mom, actually, now that I think about it. The new format is we are no longer a best of 3, it is a best of 2. Platt, if you could please change the title, that would be wonderful. Yeah, this is Siren versus Kintan Platt on Galatan.
Yep.
But so with the new format, it is best of 2, meaning each team plays each faction once. 3 possible results: win, loss, or tie. A win nets you 3 points. A loss nets you nothing, and a tie gets both teams 1 point, which is going to make for some very interesting standings if we get a lot of splits in a group, because you might have it come down to head-to-heads or even further down tiebreakers.
Yeah, and that can make it interesting, and that can make every game valuable, right? You don't want to just take one game if you can help it. You want to get 2 and get all those points that are possible going into the next round to try to climb the ladder. I did look at the results so far this season. Kintan played NiWi Crone, so they've played already one NiWi team, and unfortunately they came out on the losing side of that matchup. On the other hand, NiWi Siren here tonight, they beat the Rebel Alliance in a game that was just an absolute brutal and uncivilized display of violence.
Oh, is this the one that was just absolute bloodbath, or?
Yeah, especially when NiWi was on NR, they just went kind of crazy with the PK. Just made it into a back alley brawl, and I don't remember how many deaths happened in that game, but it was an extraordinary amount.
I'm willing to bet Autumn was in her patented A-wing.
Yeah, and they ran 2 B-wings for part of it, and so they were PKing also with the B-wings at times, and so that's a lot of firepower coming in. I don't think the Rebel Alliance was ready for that. It was kind of a back alley brawl. It was like a knife fight in an abandoned warehouse between 2 gangs. Except one gang had just talked to some missionaries, and so they had decided to turn their life around, and they were carrying Bibles and stuff. And the other gang had knives and machetes, and that gang was NiWi.
Yep. So
I think we can expect a lot of that from NiWi tonight, and we will see if the Kintan Striders are adequately prepared for the kind of pressure that they're going to get.
I will say, Kintan, do not discount their PK pressure. they are habitual scrim partners for Laser Rangers. I always get a whole bunch of evasion practice when I'm in the pancake because
Right.
I don't know. Dynasty seems to think I need more, and they'll spend a whole game crawling up my tailpipe.
Yeah, Dynasty, interestingly enough, will even PK from the bomber position. So,
Oh yeah, he's like Jackson that way. He views players as slightly more profitable, slightly harder to kill AI.
all right, the game is up under Medic. I'm going to go ahead and join it so I can spectate.
I should probably do so as well. And Kintan has taken Empire first, so handing NR to probably the most NR favoring team in the entire SCL. I don't know if that means they have something prepared. I don't know if that means they'd just rather have NR for game 2 for a potential comeback scenario.
Yeah.
Or if they just feel they're a stronger Empire team.
We will see. I think, Kintan is part of Savrip, and I think Savrip has traditionally considered themselves stronger on Empire. But then again, they are putting NiWi Siren, like you said, in what is arguably their best faction. So we'll see how this goes for both teams. Should be interesting slugfest here. Let's take a look at the players that they have rostered here. NiWi has, looks like Barasax, likely an OBJ player here. Autumn, typically in her A-wing. JC, who has become a very good support. Ska, one of the more concerning flexes out there. You got to keep an eye on him when you're playing him.
Yeah,
and then
it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't when it comes to the NiWi flexes, because you either are paying attention to Professor Autumn and you don't get stuck up on by the A-wing, but you get ganked by an X-wing,
right.
Or you pay attention to Ska, dodge the ion missile, and all of a sudden there's an A-wing blasting you to nothing.
Yeah, it's pick your poison, and they may have B-wings. We'll see what they do. And then finally for NiWi, we have Kitsters. He's a very strong OBJ player, very evasive, and a great AI farmer. You want to introduce Kintan for us?
Yeah, so we got Medic 55, Calamity, Rebel Pilot, formerly of Savrip fame, down here with Kintan. I don't remember the reasoning for that. I think he just wanted a more relaxed environment. Agent Rob, who just scares me on PK, and Gunslinger, who is absolutely a gunslinger in his own right, because man, when he gets on you, there's not. At least for me.
Yeah. All those guys you got to take seriously, and we are now loading in. Here's NiWi with their matching outfits, more or less. Got some variation in the helmets, but overall they're looking like a team with those champions colors.
The question is, what's the emote game like? Got JC doing some flexes. Okay, I think they're doing a sequential flex. No, Barasax wrecked it. I think it's just Autumn and JC doing the emotes.
Now Barasax has to do the Cantina ban, right? Like that seems to be a requirement with that name.
Yeah, like you're a Barry Sachs bro. Oh, there's the flex. Four flexes synchronized.
And on the Empire side, Kintan is stoic, no doubt, doing some visualization prior to the match.
Yep, just pre-battle meditation and visualizing what they want to see. They want to see that fish gutted on the sidewalk. Now, interesting to note, Calamity, somewhat new addition for Kintan, formerly of Wildcard, and Wildcard broke up, much like the Backstreet Boys, and they all went on to very successful careers with other teams. Actually, Laser Rangers picked up a former Wildcard as well with Wasai. Love you, man.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what role Calamity will be playing here.
He's gonna be in a bomber. He is absolutely terrifying in a bomber.
All right, well, let's see how this goes.
If you leave Calamity alone, he can put out jackal numbers. I remember casting and watching some wild card matches, and just if you do not pressure Calamity, he will do absolutely unspeakable things to your AI and capital ships.
Do you think NiWi is going to leave him alone?
No, because there's 2 B-Wings and an A-Wing.
Yep, coming out in the double B-Wing. Alright, let's see. Oh, fortunately I actually have the teams in the right spot. So, yeah, let's follow these players in. Verisak's bro heading in, looking at some AI. Autumn clearly hunting a bomber. She's already masked, and she's got, looks like Calamity in her sights.
Calamity locked up. Now, interesting to note, pure OBJ auxiliaries for the B-Wings, but they're looking at the pancake.
Yep, they're also going after the Reaper. They are ahead on the AI. Rebel Pilot has gone down, perhaps the pressure from the B-Wings. I didn't see that.
Medic's going to go down here.
All right.
Medic's down as well.
That's too bad for Kintan. They're now on defense on what is, I think, a pretty good NR map, because the Empire farm can sometimes be difficult. Let's check out the B-Wings.
And Kitsu's got bombs, Scott's port platform, and here come the bombs.
Yep, shields are not down, but Delta's already taking some damage there from those bombs. Significant damage. It's already at about 3/4 hull, even before shields are down. They are putting some damage on Charlie. I wonder if that's from the Corvette, or if they're splitting their attack. Now shields are down on both cruisers. They've got a lot of morale here already. AI is just barely coming in. Looks like Raider went down. No, looks like a player went down. Autumn, unfortunately. Which is one of the liabilities of the A-Wing, I feel. Like, it is a bit fragile. It can take some inopportune deaths.
Agent Rob is doing exactly the right thing in this scenario. He is pressuring the U-Wing. Because if you can keep the U-Wing out, that's bombs that are not going to the B-Wing. So Kisses is currently sitting here with no bombs, using just the rotaries to work it down, which, don't get me wrong, will do work, but
yep.
Not the same level of danger as
this defense has been slow. They are doing both cruisers.
They're going to get a dupe.
Both cruisers are probably going to be out-of-phaseable here, in part because of all the firepower from the B-Wings, but also, you know, Autumn is on farm suppression, even though she went down, like that first part of that offense, and now again, she's slowing down the farm, and Calamity is about to die here, it looks like. He got resupplied, fortunately, by Medic, so he may live to see another day. Let's see what Medic is doing. Is he getting in? He is. He's in. He's putting ion lasers in the mark.
Gunslinger's getting pressure from an A-Wing here.
And the bombers are still being pressured. So while Medic got in, he got in ahead of those bombers, and they took some damage. Hopefully, he can resupply Calamity. There we go. And like you said, Gunslinger went down, so that's gonna shorten their offense.
He was carrying proton torpedoes, so that's a significant portion of their expected damage that's gone.
The damage is coming in on Charlie. If they can be consistent and stay in.
And Calamity just gets dropped to 24.
Yeah, Calamity's having a hard time. Rebel Pilot is relatively undamaged, and he is putting in damage on the Nebulon. But the damage seemed to slow down when the mark wore off, so unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to get this out of phaseable.
Yeah, and what's that?
Autumn pressuring Gunslinger, just slowing down that damage with the pressure from the A-Wing. And Verisak's gets dunked. Will he survive?
Oh,
rebuilding shields.
Will, but Rob and Medic will not. And I don't think Gunslinger's going to make it out of here either.
Ooh, that's unfortunate to have those deaths at the beginning of a defense. That's going to make it really hard for them to flip this. And,
yep, and the B-Wings have switched to X-Wings, valuing that double disable.
Yeah, let's see what happens as they push through and get onto the ISD. Interestingly, Ska is choosing to shoot at the opposing players rather than push through that cruiser right now.
Because JC is coming out of the MC, he's not in position to go for the ISD yet.
Okay, so they're just kind of holding for time. Now they've pushed through, so they need to get onto this ISD. Kintan will eventually flip this.
JC is still almost 3k away.
I wonder if he chose to go back for resupplies or something. I wonder what was going on with the timing there.
He had docked and was on his way
Rob
back
just
in.
got picked off by Ska in a joust. However, now Ska's very low, trying to get in for this shield gen disable.
Now, the marks are in, and it looks like JC's gonna do it himself because Ska can't.
Ska did get an ion in, so they did get the double disable.
Oh.
Now Ska's working on power, JC likely as well. Yep, there goes power.
Yep.
If Kintan doesn't farm this out quickly, this is going to be game over. But however, Rebel is under pressure from guess who? Autumn. I wouldn't say they've taken a huge amount of deaths in this game so far, but they're definitely feeling that pressure and it's causing them problems.
Oh, Ska gets ice and he has not been resupplied from his joust. And I jinxed it. He just got resupplied.
And Kitsters continues to put damage on the ISD. They're going to have to make a choice here. Are they going to set up for the out of phase, or are they going to try to defend? They could do either one, but at this point it's so low, I would just out of phase.
Yep, and they've got 2 weak points on the underside. They might get this in phase.
Yeah. Interestingly, Kitsters is not shooting at the weak points. I wonder if you just didn't see them
Nope,
for some
there
reason.
it is.
And there goes the ISD. Game 1 to NiWi Siren. Let's take a look at the scoreboard.
I'm seriously morbidly curious how many kills Autumn has.
It wasn't a huge amount. 3 and then Ska with 4. I think...
Oh, because he had the B-Wing ions to eat the pancake and defender.
Total number of deaths is pretty high for Kintan, which was 10. So you know, the pressure was getting to them, maybe some mistakes there as well. And certainly the damage was really limited by the pressure that we know that Siren has built their NR game around.
Yep. And so something that I didn't get the chance to check because I never managed to be watching from Rob's cockpit. I think Rob might have had ion primaries.
It's possible. I have seen both Savrip and Kintan at times running ion defenders, so you're probably correct. I'm not a personal fan of the ion defender, but a lot of teams like it.
It would explain how the shields on the cruiser went down so fast. Because they did not have an ion torpedo, and Gunslinger did not get an ion missile off at it, and one set of ion lasers would not be enough to do that. But overcharged defender ions plus overcharged Reaper ions plus an ion missile, yeah, that'd just about do it.
Yeah.
Don't mind me looking down here at my phone. I am a filthy one monitor pleb, so I'm watching chat on my phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that as well because I can't get into the back end of the SCF cast because I am a streaming noob. So yeah, we'll wait for the next lobby to get set up and we'll run it back game 2.
So we've got a very brand new prediction up, folks. If you want to jamble, now's the time. You got 5 minutes to get your votes in. Now let's see what people think, because Siren, absolutely lethal team, but especially so on NR. I don't think there's anyone out there who doubts the fact that NR is far and away their best faction. Not to say they're bad on Empire, but I know that back when we had home team pick 2 games, away team picked 1 game for faction, Siren almost never got double NR when they were the away team. Everybody seemed to fear the NR a lot more than the Empire. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see something interesting here.
Okay, looks like the next lobby is up. I'm going to go ahead and load in. If I can find it.
Alright.
I am not seeing it.
Yeah, V used to make a lot of points here if Siren wins this. I mean, come on, folks. Lauren's bet 1,000 on Kintan. Come take her money. Oh, so since Lauren's here, I do have something to say for Lauren. As I'm sure some of you know, I work at a grocery store as a cashier, and I had a bit of a workplace accident. I cut myself when I was bagging someone's groceries. You got to be careful with that cheddar cheese. It can get pretty sharp. Lauren losing it in chat. Time Bomb, it's Siren versus Striders, so it's loud noise, long walk. Huh.
Okay, looks like I'm going to get loaded in here.
Yep, there it is. You know, I got to figure out how to do the jambling, because one of these days I'm gonna get to do the jambling for a Siren match, and I swear I'm gonna put their name as Russians. My Sabaton fans in the chat will get the joke.
All right, it looks like we've got some lineup changes here for Kintan. Sam Soren is in place of Calamity, it looks like.
Yep.
And then on the other side, it looked like Sidestack is in place of Barasex.
Now, Sidestack is a former Laser Ranger, so I will do my best to be unbiased here, but Celery, we miss you, man. Okay. Oh, wait, no, I don't have perspective on these, so I can actually look at the ships.
So NiWi is a bit more conventional on Empire than they are as NR, but they will still sometimes put some wrinkles out there, like running torps on their TIE bombers and things like that. So we'll see what they do. Autumn tends to fly TIE Fighter rather than Defender. And Ska will likely be in a Defender.
Yep, he is very, very deadly in that Defender. JC's going to have his head on a swivel in this opener, because you know Gunslinger and Agent Rob are going to be going for him.
Yeah, we'll see how they do as NRPK. I think the Reaper's definitely killable, but I think some teams are a little bit weaker on NRPK than they are as Empire. So we'll see how effectively they can pressure JC.
I'm actually more scared of Rob in the X-Wing than I am in the Defender, because he usually runs that Ion primary Defender. you can shield skip your way out of that. Because all you got to do is have a bit of shields to block the quick locks, and you're fine. But he's got those burst cannons, he can get those dunks real easy, and you're not getting out of there.
All right, here we go. Flying out as NR, we have Sam Soren, Gunslinger, Medic, Rebel Pilot, and the other guy, whoever that was. Sam Soren, right? Or no?
Yep. Sam Soren.
All right, following Rebel Pilot in as he hunts his pack. Looking over at the Empire side, we have Ska looking for a Rebel Pilot or someone.
Probably looking for Sam Soren.
He's on Sam Soren. He's having trouble, I think, deciding on a target. Launches a quick lock. Try to bait the chaff. I did not see a chaff there, interestingly. I don't see a mark either. Nevertheless, he gets the dunk and lands another quick lock. But Sam Soren gets behind a rock. But the rock did not save him. The rock both gives and taketh away.
Yep.
Sidestep under some pressure here, but NiWi ends up with the Empire open win, and so they'll be heading in on attack. Let's see what Autumn's doing. She may be carrying a torp. Here she comes.
I believe she is.
Torp out, and she'll
out.
Mostly stripped.
Multi-locks, and it's ready to go.
All right, here comes the damage
on
Charlie.
Get to work.
Now we got to watch these bombers. We gotta critique their rotations here.
Side stack doing that beautiful Lion's orbit. Meanwhile, Barry Sachs just sticking. Oh no, he's not doing the Lion's orbit. Closer in.
He's doing the zipper, the Platt zipper, which I don't know if Platt does anymore.
The Golo into the armpit. That cruiser is basically prepped for the out of phase, and they can switch to Delta. Question is, does Autumn have that torp again?
Damage came in nice and fast. So far, it looks like NR has failed to secure any PK. So
Autumn just got the resupply for the torp, so she's got to go get that in. Or actually, it's low enough they can probably do this with multi-locks now.
Yeah, I wouldn't use a torp at this point. Let's see. Are they? Yep, they're now on the Raider. Raider's about to go down, but that won't flip it yet. That won't flip it because the farm has been somewhat slow as well. They're about to flip, so let's follow Medic as he pushes forward on offense. So let's follow the flexes and see if they can get in quickly and get the shield strip. Rob is in. And
Scott's pressuring Gunslinger.
The out of phase looks like has come in though, so
Gunslinger's
got a head start on this offense. Yeah, he sure is, but he's at 60 and looks to be doing okay.
Yeah, and Ska, unbeknownst to Gunslinger, is completely out of missiles.
Rebel Pilot's under some significant pressure here as well, so NiWi is leaning into the PK as they like to do, even on Empire. Gunslinger does go down, unfortunately, so that's a lot of damage off the table.
Yeah, he got his wing call on the cruiser and had the wonderful, now you're facing this way moment.
Ska looking at Agent Rob, but now deciding to go to the Corvette since they're looking like they're about midway as far as the morale goes. So a little bit more farm and they burn that Corvette and they'll be ready to head back on offense. If they do it quickly enough, they can prevent the out of phase on Alpha.
Rob flinging the ion missiles into the shields of Charlie, prep it for the next phase.
Looks like JC's positioning for offense. Nearly in on offense already, if I recognize where he is on the map. Yep. But he is taking some pressure now.
Long out of phase.
A bomber, maybe. Oh no, that was his own bomber getting in. From Gunslinger. Yeah. So he's turning with Gunslinger, using the terrain well as cover, but the collision there isn't going to do him any favors.
Yep, X-Wings can afford that a lot more than a Reaper.
So they're keeping out the Reaper at this point, but there's a resupply out there on the field. Looks like Gunslinger was going to shoot it, but it ended up going to an enemy player. So yeah, JC's still alive. He's able to sort of play hide and seek with these flexes. He got the mark in. He's getting resupplies in, and they're about ready to burn Bravo. They are on Raider. Raider's about to go down, so they probably, yeah, I don't know. Hard call there, because the Raider probably would have killed it if Kintan had wanted it
JC
to.
is in. Marks have been deployed.
Yeah, so they're going for a gen, but they're not going to have much time here. So I would not send bombers in this situation, but NiWi has decided to.
I mean, they still got half a phase. Now they need to stun that right shield.
Yeah, I guess they have more than I thought. For some reason I was looking at it opposite. I thought they were going to get flipped with the Raider. Sidestack trying to get away with 8-hole. Looks like they got 1 gen. It's certainly not a clean attack on any of these gens. Shields are down, but not a lot of time to do much work here.
That's both shields.
Bombers should be
getting
back.
Pull out, call it good.
Sidestack did get out and back. He's low health. Barasax looks like he's going to get out as well. So they're going to get set up on AI here and hopefully get a quick flip. Kintan's in a bad spot here. They basically have to push through and win here. Not a fun spot to be in. Hive Guard was in this exact situation against Cavernitas Blue a bit ago, and we did not quite manage to pull out the win.
Yeah, I remember that match. That was a tough one. But enough about that match. This match is shaping up to be very interesting because the damage is coming in, but it's not coming in fast enough. They can get it. They can get the cruiser oopable pretty easily here, I believe.
I don't think the oop's going to help them because they have a shieldless MC, so they just have to piggyback and roll damage on Delta, get the morale, do the same to Charlie, and hope they can have a miracle ISD attack.
Yep.
And
Sandstorm's going to be careful because if he goes down, that's the phase and possibly the game.
And the defense has been pretty good so far from NiWi, so going to be tough to. Yeah.
Oh, Rob goes down,
if an
but he gets purple.
They may go after Gunslinger now. Let's see. Actually, no need because they flipped it with the Raider. So here come NiWi on what will probably be their final attack. Support's nearly
Medic
in.
deploying Mark.
With Rob down, there really wasn't 2 flexes to pressure the Reaper. Damage coming in quickly.
Gets in, gets a resupply to Barry Saxbro. He's probably going to have to give him a second, but he did get the power.
Autumn's so his a bit low here. She needs a resupply, or at least for a repair to come on cooldown.
It's almost there.
Yeah, she's at 8. There we go, she got a resupply.
A repair kit.
She can give JC a bonus. Now she's tractored though. Not good. Not good. Barasak's also low, but the MC is nearly dead.
Just a couple seconds of bomber rotary plus multi-locks.
Raider's coming in, they're trying to kill Raider, but there goes the MC. And that's game. NiWi takes game 2 for a 2-0 sweep of Kintan Striders. I will ask if any of them want to do interviews.
Wow, Barry. 90,000. That's not bad when you've got, another 74 and 60K on your team.
Yeah, strong damage from Barry.
Solid.
Pretty good.
Pretty solid.
Pretty good game by NiWi. They only took 3 deaths as a team, so that's really strong. Yeah, NR just couldn't close the kills against these NiWi bombers and flexes and supports. JC, 0 deaths in the Reaper. That's always a good day.
Yep. That is the perfect support score line. Big score, nothing else except 1700 cap ship damage, because that's exactly what it takes to kill power. So JC just had a brilliant game in that pancake.
Yeah, he was able to get to where he needed before the pressure happened, and then slip out. Yeah, I only ever really saw one flex at a time on him, so I felt like they weren't coordinating well enough to procure kills against a good support.
Oh, Medicus and V, you guys just won a lot of money.
All right, looks like we're going to have Medic for Kintan join us.
Yeah, if whoever's doing the gambling, if you could pay the good man. Oh, thanks for the raid, Pally, but we're just about done here.
No, we've just begun. The interviews are going to last for several hours.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Medic.
Hello.
GG's.
Hello.
GG's. I know you probably didn't like the result of that one. Any first thoughts?
Fuck. Yeah, that's all I got.
Were you expecting, the pressure, especially against the NR faction of NiWi Siren?
Very much. So that's why we picked Empire first. We
just get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Got to rip the Band-Aid off. NiWi, both NiWi teams are incredibly strong PK teams, and we knew it was coming, and we really prepared. But today just wasn't our day. So.
Mm-hmm. And we noticed on the scoreboard, it wasn't like you all took individually a lot of deaths due to PK, but like when you added up all the numbers, it was like 2 here, 1 here, 3 here. It ended up to quite a few deaths for your team as Empire.
Yeah.
And I think the pressure had a lot to do with that. Obviously, maybe the map as well. Galatan's always a fun one for pilot errors.
Yeah, we had multiple times where people on our team were just taking bad PK or bad bonk deaths into Galatan, including myself. Game 1, right at the end of the opening, I think somebody dunked me and I got like side pressed up in the Reaper against a rock and just couldn't move at all, and it was not good. But
yeah, I feel like Sirens, like they're kind of like a dynamic team. They're pretty good at capitalizing on mistakes. Like, did you guys feel that?
Yeah. They're a pretty good team in general. I just. And the other thing is, we were, because of some of those bad deaths, we were kind of playing a little bit panicked, which is a fault of our own. I think we did relatively well. I feel like I was able to keep my team alive better, or at least, better than normal.
Yeah, from our end, it definitely looked that way. There were several moments where Autumn would jump somebody, and they'd be almost dead, and we'd be thinking, this is gonna really cripple the offense, or it's gonna, mess their farm up horribly, and just resupply shows up just in the nick of time. So very dramatic resupplies. So we appreciate you making the cast more fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice saves. In scrims, I noticed your support play has improved quite a bit. You're pretty hard target. So keep it up. What is next for Kintan Striders? Who do you guys play next? And what are you hoping to get done this season?
We're playing TRA on Saturday at 4 p.m. EST. That's our next game, and I think at this point the goal is for this round just to not end up with straight losses. So we're gonna try and get a couple of wins, and hopefully it'll go better. So
cool. Well, we wish you luck going forward.
Thank you. Good games to my friends over in the Night Witches. And thank you both for casting. And I will
no
catch you all
problem.
later.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You
Medic,
as well.
take care.
GG's.
Okay. Kudos to Medic for coming in to do an interview. Not always as fun after a loss, but always interesting to hear the perspective of both teams. Let's see if we can get Siren in here. Hey, Bearsax Bro has joined us, and Professor Autumn, and Sidestack.
Celery.
That's right. How's it going?
Cool.
Hey, Celery.
GG's, guys.
Hey, Altador. How's your mom, Altador?
Pretty good. She's actually in chat.
Nice.
Hey,
Hi,
of
Altador
course.
mom.
Altador's mom's the best Star Wars Squadron's mom. Confirmed.
True story.
I have to agree. I don't know too many Star Wars Squadrons moms, but that's the one I do know, and she seems pretty cool.
That's right.
So how do you guys feel about the games?
They're okay. No, obviously we feel really good. Those were really fun games. Kintan's a great group, and we actually spent like an entire season just scrimming against them, which was awesome. So we know each other really well. It's always really fun to play against them. So it was nice to see them this time for some points.
Yeah, I think most teams in this game by this point are sort of frenemies. We know each other pretty well. We've played with and against each other for a long time now.
Yeah, I definitely don't have any arch rivals in this call right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
But if somebody else were to step
Right
in,
now.
like maybe they would be the villain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Your nemesis.
exactly.
So Autumn, obviously you brought the PK as NR. How do you feel it went against Kintan? Were you satisfied with the level of death and mayhem that you caused tonight, or are you looking for more?
Well, it's hard not to look for more always. But yeah, I mean, while I'm well known for PK, really it's a team collaborative effort. I mean, Ska is incredible on both sides, and side stack supporting, and everybody gets in on those kills. So even if I'm getting the kill, it's because somebody else set it up or talk, whatever.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
It takes a lot of coordination.
I noticed that especially in your game against TRA, you had lots of people chipping in, putting pressure on, and it was really scary, but also entertaining to watch, to see all that team PK going on. So nice job there. And yeah, Ska, I think he had 4 kills and you had 3 in the NR, so very strong pairing.
Yeah, and just being able to, Star Wars Squadrons, I think Fleet Battles, it's kind of a game of inches in many ways. And if you can, particularly on Galatan, if you can break up the packs, if you can interfere with the farm and slow the morale, all of a sudden, we really respect, I think, Kintan's objective play. And if you can screw that up and force them, into maybe out of their comfort zone a little bit, well, I mean, then you have a chance to do some really good things, and I do think we capitalized on that.
Yeah, and to Autumn's point too, I think on Galatan, when you do take that first inch, each inch after that gets easier and easier to keep taking. And so that, yeah, we definitely capitalized on that today, and I always love the pressure that my PKers supply. I don't appreciate it in practice when they're shooting at me, but I super appreciate it in the games.
Now, everyone thinks about your PK on NR and kind of worries about that. Do you try to replicate that as Empire, or do you lean into different strengths on that faction and not try to replicate your NR strat?
I think the difference is in actualization. The approach is pretty much the same. If you look at the scoreboard, Ska got 4 kills in both sides today, between the B-Wing, the X-Wing, and the Defender. And Autumn didn't get any confirmed kills as Empire, but she's definitely a part of those kills and getting those ion dunks in. And on Empire, I think it's just a little bit more of a team effort to secure them, and so it doesn't always show up on the scoreboard it's multiple people.
Yeah,
but
the
it definitely
tie.
is.
The tie is like a dunk machine, but it's hard, a little bit harder
Yeah.
to procure the kills.
Exactly. And
Right,
so on
right.
Empire, I think Autumn, you could confirm this, but you guys just do things a little bit differently, and that's why it shows that it looks different on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I don't think this is trade secrets because this has been true for a while. But typically, like the PK balance shifts more in Ska's favor for Empire versus NR. It tends to shift a little bit in my favor. But once again, these are all just general tendencies, and depending on the matchups we get and whether my TIE fighter eats a rock on Galatan, all of these sorts of things
and just who's
can shift it.
available.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because
You know,
we've been
and
playing with 3 TIE bombers, and if all our TIE bombers aren't ready to go, then obviously that's not available. So
yeah, that's a thing too. Like you have to be flexible and adapt to who you've got.
yeah, it's nice to have such flexible teammates so that I could continue to do the same thing since season 1.
Yep, and we've talked a lot about your PK, but let's talk about that OBJ play on game 1. Double B-wing, bombs and a torp platform.
Yep.
Just doing the work of the people here with the loadouts. Everybody knows that the B in B-wing stands for best, but I mean,
your first offense was really impressive. I think they had a bomber down at the beginning of it, and so they didn't really get off to a great start on that defense. It's Galatan, and you guys interestingly split damage on the cruisers and ended up with the double out of phase.
Which I don't think you took. Did you take that double out of phase, or did you just
I think
take
they took
one?
We
one.
took a single. Yeah, both of them were kind of high, so we committed to a single out of phase, and then knew that we could use that extra morale elsewhere if we needed it. Yeah. So, although it went really well, it could have gone a little bit better. But
yeah, very very interesting approach there.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that a map thing, or is that something that you guys are trialing just to do all the time if you can?
A little bit of both. Just we take everything into account: what map we're on, what opponent we're playing, what we've been working on personally, what we think is going to work. So,
yeah, I think people
what individual pilots like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think we'd still have an A-wing after all this time if I wasn't stubbornly clinging to it with my cold dead hands. But
and I'll oust myself as the non-believer. But now that there are 2 confirmed wins with the U Baby lineup, I have less of a podium to stand at. Tell them not to do it.
I think part of it is like as more players get better at stuff in this game, it kind of opens up different possibilities. But I think also people maybe underestimate your kind of strategic mind, like your team mind, like because you guys seem to do some unconventional stuff, but it all kind of fits together and works, and it's often troublesome to play against, even though on paper, a team might look at it and say, I wouldn't go with that, but it works for you guys.
So, best case scenario. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will say I fear your BBA lineup far more than I would if pretty much any other team besides maybe Crone ran it.
Yeah.
And Crone's just because they're probably your habitual scrum partners, same organization, a lot of secret sharing going on.
I mean, plus going up against Trevor and Headfencer in the same lineup is always going to be an absolute headache for whoever they decide to target that day.
I had forgotten they were both on the same team now, and now I'm going to have nightmares.
Yep. That's right. I apologize in advance.
So what's next for Siren? Who is your next opponent?
Well, we hate to do it, but begrudgingly we're going to have to murder Crone Squadron.
Oh, that's right. They're in the same bracket right now.
Yeah. It started us off in the same bracket. That's what happened after last season, so it has to happen.
It's going to be a good game. Crone
It
is
will be.
an incredibly skilled and coordinated team, and obviously we know them very well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
There's been some
be an
really
exciting
good
one.
back and forth on scrims too, so it's not even one where you can, as the players, look at it and say, it's leaning this way or that way. But on any given day, it could lean. It could fall on different sides. So
hopefully, some trash talk going on behind the scenes too.
Oh, of course, absolutely. Our newest strat, actually, I'll let you guys in on the secret. Our newest strat for Crone Squadron is to just farm the green thing.
Seems legit.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows that as head of NiWi HR, or former head of NiWi HR, that he has to listen to me. So it's gonna work out for us.
Cool. Well, I'm going to do the job interview thing and say, now that you've answered our questions, do you have any questions for us? Just kidding. We appreciate. I won't make you ask us questions because we are boring. But we appreciate you hopping in. It was a fun game to cast, and good luck in your next matchup.
Yeah, thank you
thanks
guys so much for
casting
us.
Yeah, thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
no problem. It was a genuine pleasure.
Yeah, it's always nice to be able to go back and watch from the caster's POV and see how everything went. So really appreciate you guys. Looking forward to hopefully playing Hive Guard soon again. Maybe Laser Rangers in the future.
Oh God, no.
Come on, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. I hope to see you guys again, and we'll see. Looks like you guys have a good shot at winning your division. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, see you guys around.
See you.
Adios.
Yep. Take it easy. All right, folks. I think that's it for us. I appreciate you checking out the cast, and we'll catch you next time.
Yep, see you around. Have a good night.